via Skype. Joining us from Big Sky Country out in Montana, it is a great friend of this program, retired Major General Paul Vallely, who currently serves as chairman of Stand Up America. Paul, as always, it is America's Forum.
Thanks, JD, for having me back again.
It is good to have you, Paul, and our Commander-in-Chief now lets us know that the ceiling of troops committed to West Africa has been raised to 4,000. In your view, that is 4,000 too many. Tell us why.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, I've talked to a number of retired officers, general officers who are compatriots, as well as others. And General Boykin and I were interviewed on this on WorldNet Daily a couple days ago. And we've taken a firm stand that this is not a mission, in light of all the other threats to the United States, that should be placed on the military when there are a tremendous amount of assets in other organizations, government as well as volunteer, that can go in and do the specific work that needs to be done to really neutralize and to fix this Ebola virus so it cannot spread, and that's what needs to be done by those experts. And they can subcontract others for security, for building any kind of facilities, clearing facilities that need to be constructed or used. But our forces need to protect America, and they need to be out there, for example, fighting ISIS, and we need 100% commitment for that.
And we will get to the latest military strikes against ISIS as we continue our conversation in just a few minutes. But let's stick right now with West Africa and this deployment of troops. Paul, you know it better than most. When the Commander-in-Chief says do this, the folks in the military salute and say, yes, sir. There's no doubt we have talented, resourceful people in our military, but you say public health officials and others are better trained to deal with people in this environment. Therefore, is this a poor use of resources and American manpower?
Well, you hit it, JD, right on target. There are others that are much more capable and trained for this, Ebola, and can get in there and work it as a medical threat to America and to other nations. So that's where the focus should be. But again, it appears another false step, misstep by this administration in not analyzing and using our resources to the best that we can do. And again, we have the capability and other agencies, government and volunteer, that can get in there and fix this problem, because any problem or issue like that can be fixed, but you have to have focus, and it needs to have the right people in there doing that.
About 45 seconds to answer this one, Paul, and it has to do with what you believe will happen with our troops there, even with so-called safeguards. Do you believe the likelihood is great that our military men will be exposed to Ebola in West Africa?
I think no doubt they'll be exposed to it in the environment they'll be working in, even as confined as it may be. You see population that will be coming in for testing, and they'll have to pass into these clearing or refinement centers that they're going to establish there. So there will be contact to some degree. There's no doubt about that. You can't get away from that when you're in that environment and you're processing people in and out.
Fair enough. Major General Paul Vallely, United States Army, retired. We're going to briefly retire from this conversation, sir. We'll be back on the other side of the break, talk to you about ISIS, and talk to you about what else is happening internationally. Stay with us. Major General Paul Vallely with his take on our military and how it may be utilized yet in the Mideast. That's still to come as America's Forum continues.